Hi there. I just wanted to say thanks for clicking on this video, and I hope that you like and subscribe. I'm here today to give a recap on what happened on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 8, Episode 1. So, the first couple we'll start with is Emily and Kobe. They're still living at home with Emily's parents, and they are all having dinner together, but both Emily and Kobe feels like their parents are up in their business a lot and they're trying to save up some money so that they can get their own home. Uh, they are on their way to Africa. They are going to visit Kobe's family, and Emily's parents and their children are going to come along with them. So they start off by giving their backstory on how they got to the 90 days. And Kobe says how the 90 days were particularly very difficult for him, um, trying to learn to become a husband. He was so excited to be a father, especially to Coben. He didn't get to chance to see him be born, but he is just very happy to become a father, and the whole K1 and before marrying Emily, it made him nervous, which I could kind of understand because Emily is a very type A, bossy kind of personality, if you want to say. Kobe tells Emily to just to reassure her that to be herself and she'll be loved, but be less of an American woman. And I guess I could kind of understand that. He was just trying to politely say, be less bossy, Emily. Be less bossy. But uh yeah, he's a little worried since African women are more submissive. And as we all know, Emily is definitely not submissive. So it'll be interesting to see how his friends and family will react to her when they meet her for the first time. And if Emily will tone it down or cool it, like how her dad and Kobe suggested. Next is Rob and Sophie. Yeah. Uh, Sophie's been living with her friend Kay for 2 months. After they got married, they moved to Austin, Texas, and they were doing good. They got pets, tarantulas. Ew. Not a big spider fan. Anyways, so everything was going great, but uh, Sophie happened to see that Rob was messaging a woman again. And of course, she found out that once again, Rob has online cheated. That's why, for the past 2 months, she's been living with her friend Kay, her new friend that she found in Austin, Texas. So it shows Rob at the batting cages talking to his friend. I didn't catch his friend's name, nor did I really care to, because I found like his friend was just enabling him and just going along with whatever he was saying. And maybe said friend didn't really know the whole extent to the demise of them living apart, I guess. Anyways, uh he's telling the friend that he thinks that Sophie's friend Kay is coming in between them, disrespecting them in their relationship. And just because Sophie is bi, he thinks that there could be something more to their friendship than what it seems, which is kind of funny considering who the cheater is, Rob. So then it shows us Sophie meeting up with her mom and her mom's boyfriend, John, at a bocce ball place. I've never heard of bocce ball before, but okay. So they're going to go play bocce ball. Sophie feels relieved that her mom has finally found someone, so she doesn't have feel like she has to always necessarily be there for her mom. Um, John, the boyfriend, has heard of Rob from Sophie's mom. Yeah. And not good. um, let's just say Claire doesn't really have the nicest things to say about Rob, but we find out why. And all that she hears from Sophie is how when she got to America, Rob left her. He went out places alone. She would be crying, and how he online cheated. And, you know, just as a mom myself, if my daughter came to me and told me all these horrible things about her boyfriend, I would probably feel the same way that Claire does. I mean, any mom who only hears the negative and doesn't hear anything good about their child's partner, they would probably feel very strongly like Claire does. Her mom is totally happy that they aren't living together, and she pleads with Sophie not to go back. She says at first that Rob was a nice guy, but I guess ever since Sophie came to America, he's totally changed his tune. And Sophie, her reasoning for not letting go of Rob is because she has it in her head that maybe they would come together and it would be a safe and happy home. And she's just looking for some stability. I guess when she was growing up, her father really wasn't in the picture. Her mom was there, but not really because she had issues with substances. So Sophie tells us in her confessional that she ended up taking care of her mom a lot. So later on in the episode, Sophie and Rob end up getting together, coming together to talk after 2.5 months of them being apart, and they go to a selfie gallery and they're having a great time posing for pictures and doing all the little cutesy wootsy stuff that couples do in the backgrounds and stuff like that. All the selfie stuff, all the selfie stuff. So they're having a great time and they sit down to talk. And that's when things go all awry. Rob mentioned about Sophie's wedding ring, losing it, and she thought she lost it, but now she feels a lot better because she felt that Rob took it. This starts an argument because he is quite adamant he did not take that ring. But as he was saying this, she looked down on his hand and noticed that he wasn't wearing his ring. He was acting, well, as she thought, like a single man. And of course, this would make Sophie quite upset because, it's silly for a married man not to be wearing his ring, especially since he's looking to get back with her. So they're arguing about everything under the sun, and then up pops the online cheating. And once again, it's a huge, huge argument. And Rob isn't taking any accountability whatsoever. He has every excuse under the sun. And Sophie is just looking for him not to be a victim and to actually take some accountability and maybe be like, hey, that was a shitty thing for me to do. Like, I'm sorry. But as we all know, Rob will not do that. So Sophie gets up and walks out. She's like, I've had enough of this. And I, frankly, do not blame her. If I were Sophie, I probably would have left a while ago. She has nothing tiring her down to this man, and it just seems like all he's doing is just dragging her down. This is just my opinion. Next is Nicole and Mahmoud. This couple I'm actually really excited to see since I've followed them from the other way, and I found their dynamic to be uh different, I guess. It was very interesting to me to see her try to assimilate to the Egyptian culture and his ways, but she found it to be very difficult and she wanted to go back to the United States, but she still wants to be with Mahmoud. So I guess they're going to try to make it work in the States. And at first, it shows us Nicole shopping for Mahmoud. She's shopping for pajamas for him as she explains that in Egypt, he doesn't really go to bed with pajamas. He just goes to bed with his street clothes. I'm not sure if that's a thing over there or if that's just my mood just doing that, but I just found that different. I'm like, oh, okay. So she's in there and she's shopping for him and she's trying to pick out something, not too out there, but something that he would like. Both Nicole and Mahmoud are very nervous for Mahmoud's arrival in the United States. Um, Mahmoud's concerns are leaving his family and meeting Muslim friends, finding a mosque. Nicole's concerns are just about him assimilating. I guess there's like a lot of people, obviously, in the States of all different cultures, all different backgrounds. And Mahmoud is not used to being around people of different cultures, of different backgrounds, and she's just nervous about him assimilating to that, which I could kind of see. So when it picks up with Mahmoud, it shows him in Egypt, uh, crying, very upset. He has to leave to go to America. He's super excited to see his wife Nicole again and to be with her, but this is his very first time leaving his family ever, and he's just very very upset about that. And him and his mom hug, they cry. She tells him, son, don't cry, and just to be a good husband, and to try to make it in America. His brother says goodbye to him at the car, and they're just all hoping that he does well. As Nicole is getting ready to head to the airport, it shows her making signs for Mahmoud, and she explains to us how their number one fight, usually the main source of all their fighting, is her fashion, what Nicole likes to wear. And Mahmoud being Muslim and a conservative Muslim at that, I can see how this would cause a lot of tension and a lot of conflict in their relationship. But Nicole is very hopeful that with him being in the States, that it might help improve their relationship. She's hoping that, some of the issues, maybe they'll change. Maybe Mahmoud will come over and see all the different cultures and people doing different things and realize, like, oh, hey, like, maybe I don't have to be too conservative with you with your dress. But we'll see because it is very hard to say. Next, we have Ashley and Manuel, and they are headed to the market with Ashley's family. And it's kind of funny because Manuel gets super frustrated, I guess, around people who are constantly speaking English. And in the confessionals, Ashley says to him, well, if you learned to speak English, you wouldn't be so frustrated. And he says to her that his wife should be the one to teach him English, which is true, Ashley. Like, help your husband out there a little bit. But Manuel, you also have to take the initiative too. So Ashley's sister asks her how the marriage has been going, and Ashley says that they need work on their communication and their trust. And Ashley's mom doesn't disagree. She says that he needs to be more open and introduce those two kids of his to her. Yeah, Ashley has never met the two children, and I guess when she does talk on the phone with them, it is very limited. Ashley's known Manuel for 10 years and has not met his children. Manuel talks to his kids a lot, but he doesn't include Ashley, which leads her mom to think that maybe something else is going on here. Maybe he's hiding more kids. She even asks Ashley, like, hey, do you want me to hire a private detective to see really what is going on here? And the sister says, whoa, 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 like, calm down here. Like, they are taking the overthinking into overdrive. But I could kind of see why, because Manuel is being so secretive about his kids and he's married to her. That's their stepmother. don't you think that they should get to know their stepmother, Manuel? They all sit down together, and Ashley asks Manuel, like, do you want me to be a part of your children's life? And he says, yes, yes, of course I do. But to me, actions speak louder than words. And if you really want Ashley to be a part of your kids' lives, Manuel, then you need to step it up a bit and bring Ashley in. She's wanting to get to know these kids. And again, these are these kids' stepmother. Like, they should be able to get to know her as well. And last but not least, we have Gino and Jasmine. This couple really makes me laugh. I don't know, there's just something about them and their little quirks. They're just funny to me. So Gino and Jasmine are on their honeymoon, and it shows them on a boat. And Jasmine's laying out. She's getting her tan on. Gino's the captain. It kind of looks like it's a pontoon boat, and they're just riding around some lake in Michigan together. And Gino says how beautiful the boat is and how romantic. And he's just asking Jasmine, like, don't you think this is beautiful, romantic? And then she abruptly says, no. It makes me laugh. She says she pictured a private jet and a yacht, and Gino couldn't understand what she was saying, so she had to say this more than a few times. And then he goes, "Oh, a yacht, a yacht. Yes, of course, Gino. You promised Jasmine a lot. Promised her a home, money, all these gifts, and of course, she wants a yacht. Gino, come on." So they want to have a child together. And Jasmine suggests they make a baby right on the boat right there and then. And Gino says no. Gino's very concerned. He says they're out in the open, they'll be exposed. But Jasmine just wants to get her freak on. She's ovulating and she wants to do this. Gino says that, oh, let's wait for tonight. We'll save that later, baby. So, along with having a baby, Jasmine also wants to bring her two kids over from Panama. Right now, they're being looked after by her mom and her sister, and I guess the baby's fathers. But yeah, she wants them over in America with her. And when they have a baby, if Gino and Jasmine get pregnant and have a baby, she wants them to live all together as one big happy family. And of course, she tells Gino this, and she says that they need a bigger home. Well, Gino, who just quit his job to be there for her throughout the whole 90 days, doesn't have any money. They are living off his savings and off a limited income. And where they spent so much for the wedding, he doesn't really want to spend a lot for their honeymoon. And he says that they don't really need to get a home right now. She's not pregnant, the kids aren't there, but she wants to be prepared, and as a woman, I could kind of understand that, because as women, we like to be prepared for things. And Gino, he's just not down with it. He says homes cost a lot of money, which they do, so I do agree with him there. But I think they really need to sit down and plan this all out, to be honest. One thing we did learn, though, in Jasmine's confessional was that she actually has had a hard time in the past getting pregnant. And she did not tell Gino this, and Gino was straight up about wanting to have children. So she knew that the reason why Gino and his first wife did not work out was because of them not being able to have children and her not being able to get pregnant. And because of this, Jasmine is really afraid and that didn't tell Gino that she had such a hard time because she didn't want to lose him. Something that I also thought was really funny when it came to Jasmine and Gino's segments was they went to a campground to spend the night, and they tell the person at the desk, like, hey, like, we just got married, and the lady says, congratulations. And Jasmine says, yes, this is our honeymoon. And the lady behind the counter says, oh, you're the first. And then Jasmine's face was just like, and then she looks at Gina with like, with this face. Like, she could not believe that Gino took her to a campground and they found their spot, and Gino was like, look at how beautiful it was. And to me, honestly, I'm an outdoors lady, so I found it to be very scenic and very beautiful. But Jasmine, she was not happy. She was just over it. Even when it came to them putting up the tent, they had a little bit of a hard time. Jasmine's like, why can't we just stay in a hotel? But later that night, when they had their little bonfire and they were cooking marshmallows, she was just going to town on those marshmallows. She was comparing it to corn. It was the first time she's ever had marshmallows, so I could see that it would be really good, but it was kind of funny comparing it to corn. So that's everything that happened on episode 1 of 90 Day Happily Ever After. I would love to know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I will try to get back to as many comments as possible. This is my very first video, and I'm just excited to be getting started and to be getting started with a show that I absolutely love. I've been a fan of 90 Day Fiancé for many, many, many years. I believe since season 1, since it first started. So if you just wanted to leave a comment, I will try to get back to you. I will do my very best. I just want to say thank you to all those who stayed to the very end and watched the whole video. And please consider subscribing. Thanks.